addiction that even in rehab we tend to relapse. However, if we keep going to rehab, we keep chanting our rounds, we keep associating with devotees, we can start to overcome these relapses. And we start to get to a point where we have no desire to relapse. We have no desire, we have no taste for it anymore. However, there's relapses or mistakes of different natures. And this is something that we need to be careful as devotees, because our relapses are falling back into the material conditioning of two different natures. Are one that happens sincerely by mistake, and one that happens because we actually make the choice. And these can both be overcome by devotional service, but we should be very aware when we make a mistake, if we're making it because of sincere mistakes or if we chose to. And either way, when we take the radical responsibility, we can start to make adjustments till we don't put ourselves in the same position. When we make a mistake and we take sincere responsibility for it, what are some of the things that we do? When we have a relationship and we made a mistake and we've hurt somebody, what are some of the things that we do? We apologize, right? Sincerely ask for forgiveness. I apologize. I'm sorry. I want to do. What else do we do? Any other suggestions on what is the process of apologizing or overcoming our mistakes? Yes, Daniel. So you want to get clear in communicating what it is you're actually apologizing for. Sometimes we just say sorry, but we just really want the forgiveness. We don't really want to accept what we did. So this is a very good point, Daniel, that we really take responsible for what exactly we did in the hurt, and we verbalize it, and we ask if there's something we even missed more. Is there even more that I did? And then what can I do what can I do? Any other suggestions? Any other thoughts? Ukulananda Prabhu. Oh, so we really want to move into an intelligence. We want to use our intelligence to really see what was happening. We sit back, take a deep breath, let the intelligence kick in. What did I do? How did that happen? How can I make adjustments? And really, am I hearing you correctly? Yeah. Papa Priya. Yeah. We want to do something that says more than just the words. We want to take some action. And then ultimately, what do we want to do? Is we don't want to do it again. So, you could imagine there's two brothers. And one brother graduates and goes to college, and he kind of lives a pretty normal life of comfortable. One brother, though, he becomes ultra rich. He hits the jackpot, becomes a tech tycoon, and he's got billions of dollars, right? So the other brother, he ends up doing some things in his life that are destructive to his life. He starts to drink, and he goes to Las Vegas, the city of sin, right? and he ends up blowing the kids, all of his savings, the kids' college fund. He just really messes up, right? So he goes to his brother, "Brother, I really messed up here. I really could use some help. I made this mistake. Could you help me out?" Says, "No problem, brother. I've got you. Here's 100. He's a billionaire. This is nothing to him. $100,000. He says, "No problem. Let's take care of that. Let's make sure the kids got their college fund. We got it." Okay, but hey, let's not do that again, right? So the other brother ends up making another mistake. He ends up relapsing, right? He goes but this time he doesn't go to Sin City. He just goes to the local casino and drops $10,000. He goes to his brother, "Hey, I made a mistake again. I really learned this time. Will you help me out?" He says, "No problem. Here's 10,000. Please, let's learn from this." So over time, these mistakes keep on happening. And the brother, loving his brother so much, he wants to see his brother okay. He wants to make sure his friends are okay, or his family's okay. But over time, when he pays for his brother's misdeeds, the love, the desire for help goes away. And it just becomes, "Here, take the money. Forget it. I don't even want to hear it. I want to make sure that the kids are taken care of and your wife's taken care of. You're an idiot. But here, take the money." So, in our devotional life, we want to make sure that we're not doing this to Krishna. Right? We want to make sure that we're making mistakes and we learn from them and take responsibility and take action to really not do the thing again. For instance, each morning we take 3 loops around Tulsi Maharani, right? And what happens when we do that? Even if we kill a Brahmana, fine. Take the release of your sins. No problem. But we're devotees. We don't want to just be released for the sin. It's nice to have that weight taken off your shoulders. But we want more than that. We want to have a relationship with Krishna. And so, wanting that relationship with Krishna, we have to be sincere in our apology and our overcoming of our fall downs, our mistakes. We don't want to just feel released. We just don't want somebody to forgive us. We want to gain trust and a relationship with Krishna. And to do this, we need to be sincere in our apology, and we really need to take action to move forward to develop the relationship. We stop doing the things that hurt the relationship, that break the trust of Krishna, and we start doing the things that keep that trust, that build up that relationship. In Krishna consciousness, the wonderful thing is Krishna is just so merciful. And he's entering our life in a way that our sincerity to overcome these we're given an opportunity to overcome these things that are holding us back from Krishna consciousness, from going back home, back to Godhead. And we're becoming, as Srila Prabhupada said in the purport, where these are simply things that we can use to purify ourselves. If we are sincere to apologize, to take full responsibility, to use our intelligence to see how we will stop it again, how I'm not going to put myself in that bad situation again, if we become very clear in communicating what we did, and if, oh, Krishna, did I make any more mistakes? Please let it be known, or to the devotees. Then we do something extra in that apology. We don't just say it with our words. We take some action to really apologize. And then we take action to develop the right actions. If we're making mistakes and it's hurting the relationship, we're more interested in those activities that strengthen the relationship, and we focus on those and really do those. So, okay, we'll open it up to questions, comments, thoughts, please. We talked about, just a little reminder, maybe, we talked about taking radical responsibility. In the first paragraph, Srila Prabhupada's talking about the devotee sees his karma as because of his past deeds, right? And so we take radical responsibility. We are taking action so that we don't continue to do the things that are hurtful. We start to enter into devotional service. And then we understand that Krishna is arranging things in a way for us to learn from those mistakes and to move towards his lotus feet. Any questions, comments, thoughts, please? Can we get the mic for Gokulananda Prabhu, please?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for bringing out this theme. When you spoke about relapses, I was thinking about Vishnujan Swami. I think this was 1976 Gaur Purnima festival, and Vishnujan Swami, he approached Srila Prabhupada with a question. So what is the fate of a sannyasi, who faces a relapse like that? So then Srila Prabhupada spoke about even Lord Chaitanya's associates, right? Sometimes they may face this kind of difficulties in situations, and he quoted Chota Haridas. So Vishnujan Swami went, he disappeared after that. Probably he missed out on the latter part that Srila Prabhupada spoke about. He said, in this Kali Yuga, in this day and age, it's very difficult, to observe those vows. So even if that happens, one should continue with steadfastness in devotional service. That particular part he missed out. Then Acharya Srila Prabhupada was giving that concession and encouraging that particular part was missed.
To keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yes. Right? Thank you, Prabhu. We'll see, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for nice class. And on that point of introspection, I have things that, I try to avoid, but then I keep going back. And then I'm doing my analysis of, okay, why do I keep going back to doing? So then what I find is I have to remind myself that everything I'm actually looking for is in Krishna and in his holy name. He is complete, but because it's my lack of faith that everything I'm looking for is in Krishna, I'm always, looking for it outside. So I have to keep reminding that, okay, now let's go back to the holy name because everything is there. So it's because my faith is not there. I'm constantly, my mind is saying, okay, maybe we need this, this, and this. And then, okay, coming back to the holy name and saying, okay, everything is there. I just have to, have more faith. That's what helps me.
And when we go through those situations and we go back to the holy name, at least my experience is, please tell me if it's yours, that I get more faith in the holy name. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't where it was at. And my faith grows a little bit more each time. And so this is what Srila Prabhupada, I'm assuming you agree because you're shaking your head yes. So this is what Srila Prabhupada says in in this last part of the purport is that these situations are happening that are a spiritual situation for the devotee because they're using them to get more faith in the holy name. Yes, it's unfortunate that we're there, right? That we don't have that, but it's where we're at, you know. So let's learn from it. Let's get more traction for the holy name. Eventually, we just won't even go there. Thank you.
Thank you for a nice class. I really appreciated you bringing up that we need to focus on what we're doing and not on what others are doing. Yesterday I had a day where I saw a lot of things that bothered me, and so I was getting agitated, and then pretty soon I realized that really the biggest offender was myself for seeing those things, and went to switch my perspective and went to asking for forgiveness instead of placing blame. So I really appreciated that point.
This is one of the greatest tricks Maya does for us. She grabs our wheel. We're trying to drive towards Krishna's lotus feet, and she grabs our wheel and takes us on a detour. But what she's so masterful at is she'll put it on other people. It's that person, but really it's Maya taking the wheel, saying, "Hey, let's take detours. Krishna's lotus feet. We can do that later." So what happens is we have situations in our life that come up where we get distracted from our destination, and we start seeing it in other people. Oh, this person's like that. This situation, they did like this wrong. They did that. It's all getting a distraction from our focus of how do we move through Krishna consciousness? How do we practice our Krishna consciousness? And this material world is designed in a way to distract us like this, to take our consciousness, and so it's very good that you recognized it and apologized for it. And as I was saying, when we take that radical responsibility, in general, we start to slow that consciousness, that we stop doing those things. It really helps us to empower us to stop, go, "Oh, I've been there before." No, remember, Yeah. Dustin, you were going to say something?
Hare Krishna, Nandabraj.
Hare Krishna.
So, say we're put in a situation where we do make a mistake, and we apologize to the other person. We make it all right. We apologize to Krishna. Let's say this person after they've apologized, after they've done everything they can do, let's say this person is still they have a lot of self-shame and a lot of guilt. And that's not good for the mind. Krishna doesn't want to see us like that. So how can we, when we make mistakes, how can we refrain from having a lot of self-shame and guilt?
First, we can recognize what that is. And just like the narcissist who never makes a mistake and thinks they're the coolest thing in the world and they can do no wrong, which is a source of Maya, right? The person can, on the other side of the coin, start to go in this self-defecating behaviors. So we can see the root of it is still making one the center. One, I don't care, I just do it, I'm the best, I'm great. One is, I stink, all the bad talk that we have, right? So Maya, illusion, is going to do whatever it can to distract us, and some people it knows it can do it through pride, and sometimes people can do it through this misguided humility. Some people call this humility. It's not humility. Right? So if we understand the root cause of this is to make oneself the center, then we can go, okay, wait a minute. Am I the center of everything? No. Krishna is the center of everything. If things still happened, I'm not denying that it didn't happen, but I'm not going to keep myself in the center. I'm going to start to really learn from it so that I can put Krishna in the center, so that I can really start to serve Krishna in a proper way, right? For instance, Dustin, when we take responsibility 100% of our 3% of a problem that we only, or the 97%, it's not that we don't recognize other people's faults and stuff like that. The point is what can you do? I can't change the other person. I can change myself. So when we take responsibility of a situation and decide to make a change, and in Krishna consciousness that change is, I'm no longer going to do the things that aren't good for my Krishna consciousness, and I'm going to do the things that are good for my Krishna consciousness. So we get away from self-loathing, self. We actually really get to the self. See, we like to think what the problem is your mind has some issues. Anyways, these different parts of us our false ego has these issues, and we like to identify with them as ourselves, but really they're not us. The real self is a spirit soul whose only business is to serve Krishna. So if we recognize that we're being selfish in a nasty, disgusting way, we can say, let me at least be real selfish in a way that's actually the truth, because in a selfish way, I'm a self, I'm a soul. Oh wait, as a soul, what do I do? What do I do as a soul? Yeah, bhakti. I serve Krishna. What do you think? Anybody want to add to that? Any thoughts? About 3 more minutes. Or another question, comment? Final one? Okay. Nobody raised their hand fast enough, sorry. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada has given us a really wonderful purport here. If you look at it, when you go back to it, it's 3 different paragraphs, and he goes from the start of taking responsibility through our karma. The devotee puts no blame on anyone else besides themselves for their bad situation. But we do that recognizing that we want to get better, we want to heal, we want to change the situation. So we come to Krishna consciousness. And when we come to Krishna consciousness, Krishna takes a hold of our life, and everything is meant to be help us in overcoming this disease that we have and to move towards Him. And we can do that through radical responsibility, putting ourselves in the proper rehab, right? And then really being conscious of the mistakes we do and move forward so that we don't make those mistakes again. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Pramaninde Hari Hari Bo. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Krishna.